Okay, so I thought I'd make videos because I like to write a lot, and I was like, maybe instead if I video it and like I really get to like say these things out loud, I think that's like a bit better, and I can look back on it in a couple of years and, you know, see what's happening. So it's where I'm flying early in the morning to San Francisco, so I'm just gonna do my hair before the flight and then hopefully wake up with like decent hair is my thinking. Anyways, what I wanted to speak on today is something quite interesting. Because, sorry, this is like actually kind of difficult to talk about, but I was going through my phone today, and like I said, I really like to write. I just write everything down in my notes app, everything that I'm feeling, like what's going on in my life. It's something some people know about me, it's just something I really enjoy to do. But I found a paragraph that I wrote. It was about self-hatred. Yeah. So I went through a couple months of time of just hating myself. And when I say like hate, like hating myself, like I couldn't do anything because all I would think about was how much I hate myself. And it's kind of upsetting to think about how serious it was. I mean, right now I'm filming this video, my hair's up, I'm doing my hair, I have no makeup on. At that time, this wasn't something I'd be able to do. I couldn't even look at myself without makeup on, let alone like record a video. I wouldn't be able to do it. And sorry, I'm like getting a bit sad just thinking about this, but I wrote this on the 7th of January, and this is what I found today that I thought was very upsetting to find. I said, my experience being ugly and fat. Every morning when I wake up, I try to avoid looking in the mirror or opening my Snapchat because I hate myself looking that ugly. Throughout the day, all I think about is what I look like and if other people notice how ugly I look. I watch every girl that walks past me in the hallway and I see how much prettier she is than me, and it makes me feel sick. I'm convinced my life would be so much better if I was just pretty. I think that if I were pretty, I would not let guys treat me the way that they do. I don't even think they would treat me that way. I don't even think they would treat me this way if I were pretty. Every guy I've ever had something with, I've lost over time, and they've all ended up with the most beautiful girls right after me. It's almost like after me, they realize they can do better, and they find someone 7 times more beautiful than me. I can't wait to be 18 and have money and get everything fixed that I hate about myself. I know that plastic surgery doesn't change everything, but I know with some plastic surgery I could be pretty. For the time being, I'm just going to have to suffer the way I am. I'm going to have to look this ugly. And every day I look in the mirror, I feel uglier and fatter. I see it happening right in front of me, and there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, that's quite loaded, we could say. And during this time, I remember my family, my friends, everyone was looking at me. And they were all like, Famke, you're wearing too much makeup, you're wearing too much fake tan, you know, your boobs are always out, like, do we need, like, why are you doing this, like, blah, blah, blah. And they were very much in the thought of, you're seeking attention, you're being, like, whore-ish, you know, like, that sort of stuff was, like, mostly what I was hearing. But in reality, I hated myself, and I was trying to completely, like, cover what I actually look like entirely. I still, to this day, I've gotten a lot better, but I struggle a lot with not just having my boobs out because, like, right now is I mean, wow, like, I struggle a lot with, even in the dead of winter, not having my boobs out because I know it's something that is just, like, attractive, and I always thought if there's nothing else about me that's good looking, at least people can look at my boobs and be like, oh, like, wow, she has a great set of boobs. And the best part about it is I was wearing I mean, I also stopped this, but for months I was wearing the most insane push-up bras, like insanity. Like, you saw me and my tits were just like all over the place, and people would look at me and they'd be like, you know, they were thinking, what the fuck is this girl doing? And they probably had a lot to say. I've heard people had a lot to say, at least, but to me that didn't matter. Like, really the only thing that mattered to me was just having something that is attractive. That's something, you know, even if it like was all push-up bra, if it was all fake, I didn't care about being fake, you know. I was waking up early every morning. I was doing my makeup, like finishing off my makeup in the car. I was sleeping. I was not washing off my fake tan so I could be like the darkest color possible, and it looked bad, but I didn't even think about it looking bad. I was just thinking about, you know, like covering what I actually look like, because I just hated myself so much. I hated myself so much. It's not even understandable. And, you know, besides, after I read this little message that I just read out to you from my notes app, I, you know, went back into my TikTok as well. And I seen stuff that made me cry looking at it, because I'm so upset. For me, a couple months ago, see, I'm pulling down my shirt, like habits, like that's just genuinely habits that I have. But I'm so upset for myself at this time, and I was completely isolating myself. I had no friends. I wasn't hanging out with anybody. I was completely, like, I spent most of my weekends alone, but I wanted it like that. I wanted to isolate myself. I was making myself more sad than I needed to be, and it was hard. It was a very hard time for me, and no one actually knew, you know, like, I mean, okay, it starts with, for example, when brushing my teeth in the mirror means I have to look at myself for 5 minutes, and I hate what I see so much I want to die. I did have, at this time, I did have suicidal thoughts, because I thought I was so ugly, and I thought I was just such a horrible person that I thought I didn't deserve to live. That's quite extreme. And quite, I mean, that's incredibly extreme. I can't fathom this. Like, I can't fathom even thinking this about myself anymore, but mostly it's like, I think about, like, what if my friends were to tell me this is how they felt? How would I feel if my friends told me this? I'd be sobbing, you know what I mean? Like, I'd be so upset. Then the next one is, I feel so much disgust for myself. I don't know why I'm such a terrible person. I don't want to be dramatic, but in a way, I think I'm worse than Hitler. And this sounds insane, because it is insane, but this is genuinely thoughts that I was having. Like, this isn't fake, this isn't like pretend, this is genuinely thoughts that I was having about myself. Like, really, it's quite insane. Like, oh, I just burned my hand a little. It's very insane. Then the next, how come I'm the only person in the world without any good qualities? I'm so ugly, boring, and plain. I don't make people feel good when they are around me. I don't know what to do. I mean, it's just, I can't even, I have my days still where I feel insecure. Not even days, I'm still a very insecure person. Stuff like this, like feeling like this, how I'm feeling in these videos, isn't something that just goes away. Like, you have to work on it, and I especially still need to like unlearn certain habits. For example, like, I still do wear a lot of makeup, and it is very hard for me to not wear a lot of makeup, because I'm just so used to seeing myself in that way. I can't not see myself in that way. And it's also, I feel like if I don't wear makeup, people are definitely gonna be like, oh shit, look at Funko, and she's like not wearing makeup, like, what the fuck, you know? So that's maybe like another reason why I do. What the fuck is going, guys, I got a little scissor happy yesterday or 2 days ago, what the fuck is this? Like, genuinely, someone tell me what, like, the rest of this hair, I'm fine. I just needed a little bit of life to it, but I don't know what's going on with this. Oh my god, Fonka. Then the next, all day and all night, the only thing that plays in my head is how much I truly hate myself. I can't focus on anything. The only thing I know, the only thing I think about is myself and how ugly I am, which also makes me selfish. That was hard. I remember that being one of the thoughts that really changed me, because selfishness is not something I have. It's not something I've ever had. I'm the oldest sibling. I take care of my siblings, and honestly, my parents were having a hard time for a while dealing with my siblings, so I kind of parented my parents for a little bit there. So the thought of being selfish was really, when I realized like being so insecure is so incredibly selfish, because you're just thinking about yourself and what everyone's thinking about you. And that was one of the that was one of the things that, what the fuck is going on with this? That was one of the things that really did help me during this time. Like, really, that was something that helped me to get over it, because I was like, I'm not a selfish person. Like, what is going on here? You know what I mean? I don't know. And then this one, I know that only I can stop this mindset, but I don't know how to. How the fuck do people live their everyday lives without hating themselves? I couldn't, I couldn't even imagine it. It was just, I'm trying to feel where I burned my hand. But it was just really, guys, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna, kind of put these up for a second and pray. But it was just a time in my life where I fully hated myself, and I didn't think I deserved life. I didn't think I deserved to live because I hated myself so much. And that's such a difficult thing to think about. Yeah, wow, that's a crazy thing to think about. See, this is another example. I'm very used to I don't know, stuff like that is just embedded in me, and it's hard to change stuff like that. But those are kind of my stories on that, and I think that this is a lot more common, but it's not something you can really talk about. It's so difficult to really go to someone and be like, hey, I hate myself. Hey, I hate myself. What the fuck? Why? No, we love you, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, Famke told me she hates herself. Isn't that so weird? It's not something you tell people, you know? And one day, I did tell my best friend, which I'm very lucky to have someone like her in my life, because without her, I would not be alive. And I told her this. And the second I was telling her out loud and saying to a person everything I felt about myself, it felt quite extreme when I was saying it out loud. When I was saying out loud, Margarita, I don't think I deserve to live because I'm so ugly. When I said it out loud to my best friend, it was a game changer. Definitely one of the turning points. But I've been feeling like this for a while before, for a long while before I said anything to her. And she immediately started sobbing, crying, bawling her eyes out, and she was like, Famke, I can't believe you're saying this. You mean so much to me, you know, and she's just glazing me. But she was crying. I had made her so upset that she was crying. And I hate it when she's upset, you know, she's my best friend. I never want her to be upset, and seeing that this made her so upset made me be like, fuck, we don't want this, we don't want to do this. And also just hearing myself speak like that out loud to another person, I realized how absurd it was, you know, I realized how crazy it was. So I think that was really the way to go, was to talk about it and tell her that like really changed it for me, and it isn't something that just goes away, but I don't hate myself now, for sure I don't, which is great. I mean, during this time I was isolating myself completely as well, so I was alone. I was completely alone, and I think that was what like being alone left me with so much time to think, and all this time of thinking I was just thinking about how much I hated myself. This is quite difficult to like even say now, even though it's like so much later. It just, yeah, I mean, it's a very difficult thing to deal with, and still I would say I definitely think about what I look like way too much and way more than I should. And you know, when someone tells me I look good, I mean, if you're a guy and you've ever talked to me, you would know that when a guy tells me I look good, I roll my eyes. That's not gone away yet. It's very difficult. I can't even like bring myself, I don't even say thank you, which is very bad. If someone tells me I'm pretty, like a guy, I've never said oh thank you. I roll my eyes. I usually roll my eyes when they're not looking though. But I think that was quite difficult for me, and I think this is also a big thing that gave me the reputation that I have for like being a whore, because I have hooked up with a lot of people this year. That's not something I can say didn't happen, because it most definitely did happen. But I hated myself. I needed validation from other people. I knew I didn't have it within me to be like, no. I needed people to tell me I looked good. I didn't believe it, but I still needed people to tell me. And that's definitely what got me to hook up with a decent amount of people this year. It's hard to say I regret it or I don't regret it, because there's negatives and there's positives. There's people whose feelings I did hurt that I feel terrible about, but there's a lot of things that I learned, and I think it's very important when you're in this mindset to not go for everyone that shows you. Another thing I have to say is I was never used to having any attention from guys ever, and so when I moved here and suddenly there were guys coming out of the woodworks, I didn't say no ever. I also felt bad to say no, but I was like shocked that these people even liked me or wanted anything to do with me or even thought I was good looking. So I was like, bro, like of course, like yes. So I would say I definitely in the beginning hurt some feelings that I definitely regret, because they were all very cool, chill people, and I appreciate them very much. But I have to say I did learn so much from all of these guys. Like taught me something about myself and taught me something about, you know, what I like in a guy, what I don't like in a guy, and how I'm supposed to be treated, how I'm not supposed to be treated, stuff like that. The only thing that I am a little bit upset about is that obviously people, when you have a reputation, people are gonna believe it. Fair enough, you know, I can't say I'm not the same. I mean, it's difficult when you really do like a guy and they think you just want to hook up, but you actually do really like them. So that has happened once or twice. That's not great, but I am trying to just step away overall from like the male validation and living for men to think that I look good, and I'm trying to move on from that. I think that's definitely also one of the more difficult parts for me, but it's in the works, so I hope I'm gotten a bit better at it in a while. in a while, whoa. I hope that when I'm watching this video back in however long, I've gotten a bit better at it. Okay, that's all. Good night. I'm going to bed. Almost. I still need to finish packing, but yeah.